morning, Bama hiker here. I just made it up to the top of Mount Whitney. This is the lodge right behind me. Got here at 6:17. I left at 2:20. I was about 20 minutes late leaving this morning, but I believe I made it just in time to catch the sun rising up over here on the horizon. I think I'll be right here in just a second to join the other folks watching it. I'm going to tell you, it was a bit of a challenge for me to get up here. Oh man, it was super cold. The water in my bladder, in my tube, coming up, froze solid. So I haven't had a drink of water yet, so I'm going to go drink from the back of the bladder in a minute. But it's absolutely fantastic out here. Man, but it's cold, man. And I tell you what, it's probably one of the scariest climbs I had running back along the ridgeline over here. Let me show you. This is the route here. Basically following along all this craggy rocks all the way back over to Trail Crest, back over that way. So, all right. They're right here. All the other intrepid souls that got up bright and early. All right, I'm going to turn the camera and let you watch it. If you look out there on the horizon, you can see it's just now coming up. It's the start of a new day here at Mount Whitney.
And it died? Crashed or it ran out of battery? Probably too cold. Yeah, if you kept it in your pocket What the heck? I got 144.
And there it is.
Fuck yeah, we made it. Fuck yeah.
It just popped.
There it is. Yeah, baby.
All right. Welcome.
Welcome. I've been here since 3:30.
Oh, here's a DVR too. All black.
Well, it's a 7:15. It's freezing up here. Someone had a thermometer and said it was 18 degrees. And with the wind chill, I'm sure it's probably even lower than that. I put on all my layers trying to stay warm. My hands are shaking, it's so cold. I wanted to go ahead and fill out the logbook here, but all the pins are frozen. You can't write anything, so I guess that's it. This is just proof I've been here. All right, I'm freezing. I'm heading down off the mountain. Oh man, it's so cold, but it's gorgeous up here. Wish I could spend more time, but the cold is forcing me off the mountain. Later. I tell you, coming up it was slow, low, and to the tempo. But coming back down, man, it's easy. It's a piece of cake. I wish it was this way going up. We had, it was a challenge, I'll tell you that. I left at about 2:17, so it did take me 4 hours to get to the summit. And I reached Trail Crest at 4:17. So it actually took me 2 hours to do that 3 miles, then another 2 hours to do the final 2 up to the summit. But I tell you, it was slow go, and it was pretty sketchy out here in the dark. It was pitch dark. If we didn't have a flashlight, you'd never see the trail. And I'll show you up ahead, when we get back into the sketchy section, just how scary the drop-offs are. Alrighty, but making good time. Hope to be back down in maybe 2.5, 3 hours as opposed to 4 coming up. It's still freezing. Coming up this morning, it was pretty hairy because we had some really extreme drop-offs on the trail that goes along up towards the summit, which is back over in that direction. I was doing it by headlamp. I tell you what, it was really nerve-wracking because my headlamp was also starting to dim out. This is a view on the other side of Mount Whitney. A lot of folks come in from Guitar Lake, which is down there in the valley. You might be able to make out the shape of Guitar Lake. Right here is a little flat spot on the trail coming up, and I stopped here in the dark this morning to go ahead and put on the down vest that my daughter gave to me to try and start keeping warm. I went to take a suck from my Camelback hose and it was frozen solid. So that was probably about 5 o'clock. So it had to be well below freezing at that point. All right, I'm pushing on. I'm on my way down. It's about 8:30. Back over in this direction is what's known as Trail Crest. It's 13,800 feet. I'll show you the sign on the way down. I reached that point about 4:17 this morning. Only as exactly 2 hours from my left trail camp. Right here is where you have the signs that show the way going uphill towards Mount Whitney. The other trail actually heads down towards the John Muir Trail and the Crabtree Ranger Station. All right, I'm moving on. Here's the Trail Crest sign, 13,800 feet. And after you pass from this point, then you start downhill towards the John Muir Trail and continue on towards the summit. I passed by here about 4:17 this morning. Down there was my campsite from yesterday. And as you can see, I'm going to zoom out. If I get my finger on the button, it's a ways down the valley. It's 12,000 feet. I'm up here around 13,700. Well, it's 10 o'clock and I've returned back to my camp, which is right over here. I took my tent down last night this morning before I started the climb. It was really super windy, and the advice I was given by a guy at the Whitney Portal store was, take your tent down, just collapse it so it won't get blown to a lake. So, all right, now it's time to pack up all my gear and get ready to head home. Yeah. Well, I'm back to the trailhead. It took only 3 hours and 12 minutes to walk from trail camp back down, which took 6 hours to get up. And that means my total time on the mountain with climbing Mount Whitney was 30 hours and 12 minutes. Hope you enjoyed this. Come back sometime soon and watch another one. Cheers.